Hey guys, Sound Alchemist here, and today I bring you 40 facts on the Primarchs that I couldn't get to because of the corrupted file yesterday. So we're doing a 40 facts on the weapons of these guys. So let's begin with the lore on Angron and the lore on Gilman's weaponry.
The Primarch of the World Eaters is known simply as Angron, and he is sometimes called the Red Angel, which he does hate this nickname. He was the most bloody-handed and savage of the Primarchs. When Horus began his rebellion, Angron was quick to join his treachery, but his only true master was rage and bloodlust within him. He did fall to chaos during this heresy, and he was transformed into a demon prince of Khorne. But most recently, he has been banished into the warp after his first war on Armageddon by the infamous Grey Knights. Now this guy has a huge amount of war gear, so let's jump right into it, beginning with the Black Blade of Angron. So the Primarch Angron's personal demon sword is called the Black Blade. It is a gigantic ebony blade that could cleave anything in two. However, this weapon was destroyed by the powerful psychic defense of the Grey Knights during the War for Armageddon. Next up is the Armor of Mars. So Angron wears artificer armor that was crafted by the artificers of the 12th Legion from the gladiatorial armor in which he fought as a new Syrian slave on his homeworld. Next up is Widowmaker. Widowmaker was the precursor to all of the other chain axes that Angron would use throughout his life. This formidable weapon was destroyed when he was confronted and fought his brother Primarch Leman Russ on the world of Genna. Brazen Tooth. Brazen Tooth is the massive two-handed chain axe that the Primarch Angron used before taking up Gorefather and Gorechild. Brazen Tooth was so large that only a Primarch could wield it. Now he did use this to cleave through a horde of greenskins, serving the war boss known as Arch Vandal of Pasiphae. A feral world teeming with tribal psychopaths had rebelled against the Imperial truth, and at the mere sight of Brazen Tooth in Angron's hand, they literally gave up. So it is a freaking huge chain axe that has taken so many lives, and just the mere sight of it is enough to say, nah, I ain't messing with that guy. But anyway, Brazen Tooth was later used as a symbol of Angron's relentlessness and independence more than just a weapon. Eventually, it was presented to Lorgar of the Wordbearers to cement his alliance between these two legions during the Horus Heresy. And currently, Brazen Tooth was either lost or destroyed in the vacuum of space after the destruction of the Wordbearer's battleship. But anyway, let's dive into the better known weapons, Gorefather and Gorechild. So during the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy, these archaic chain axes were amongst the most potent weapons known amongst the relics of all the Primarchs, and they were made all the more deadly because they were used by Angron. During the heresy, Angron discarded both of these chain axes after they became irrevocably damaged upon the world of Armatura. Angron's equerry, Karn the Betrayer, retrieved one of these, Gorechild, had it repaired, and has used it ever since. And lastly, we talk about the Butcher's Nails. So the Butcher's Nails were bioneural cybernetic implants which are surgically grafted into the cerebral cortex of either the Space Marines or, in this case, Angron. It is an early form of archaeotech devices during the dark age of technology, and they basically boost the ferocity of a warrior, his courage, his adrenaline, and it overall just makes it a powerful, aggressive warrior in battle, basically a berserker. But it slowly deteriorates all of their mental faculties and reason thought. So it makes them stronger, it makes them bloodthirsty, but it is slowly killing them and making them stupider at the same time. So yeah, because of this was the reason why Lorgar attempted to save Angron, because, you know, he was slowly dying, and that's what led him to become a demon prince of Khorne. But anyway, enough about Angron. Let's go to everybody's favorite Primarch, Roboot Gilman. Next up, we have the poster boy Roboot Gilman, aka the Avenging Sun, aka the Victorious, aka the Ultra Smurf. This guy is a being of preternatural intelligence cold reason, indomitable will, and he has forged his legion of Ultramarines into one of the strongest Space Marine forces in all of the galaxy. This guy was a beast in 30k, but while fighting Demon Primarch Fulgrim, he got slashed in the throat with a poison blade, so he got put into stasis until they could find a way of saving him. And eventually that came in the form of the Eldar. So in the current timeline, the Eldar allied with the Imperium, with the forces of the Inari. Thanks to Iniad, the god of the dead, Gilliman was revived, no longer poisoned apparently, and he is currently leading the Indomitus Crusade in the current 40k timeline, so he is in control of the entire Imperium, or at least the military forces at that. So because of that, this guy is heavily protected by plot armor. So that being said, let's dive into the many weapons of Roboot Gilman. Now, since Gilliman has two reiterations, two forms, two timelines, I guess, he does have his pre-heresy Wargear, and then he has his post-heresy Wargear. So because of that, I'm going to split this up into two. Well, you know, I'm just going to talk about it all. You know what? Fuck it. Pre-heresy era Wargear. Let's begin with the Armor of Reason. So in the legends, his armor is known as the Ever Reforged Armor, and that is due to the fact that this dude was OCD. Anytime he noticed a weakness or a chink in his armor, he would get it fixed, he'd get it upgraded. So that's what it's always called, the Ever Reforged Armor. Next up, we have the Gladius Incandor and the Hand of Dominion. So the Hand of Dominion and the Gladius Incandor are a set of Power Sword and Power Fist. That it wasn't only just weapons in war, but it was also a symbol for his might and authority in both his legion and the Imperium overall. Next up we have the Arbitrator, which is one of Gilliman's favorite sidearms. He used it in battle, and it was a heavily customized combi bolter, which he also used to kind of sway his opinions outward. What this means is he'd basically come up to you, be like, yo, I need that Land Raider right now. And then you'd be like, what? This is my Land Raider, you ain't getting it. And then you'd see him like pull his Arbitrator out, and you'd be like, oh shit, you know, I don't want no trouble. So you just give him the Land Raider. That's why it's called the Arbitrator. And now onto the post-heresy era Wargear. So basically this is what you see on the model currently. He's got the Emperor's freaking sword. So the famous sword wielded by the Emperor himself during the Great Crusade was passed on to Gilliman after he became Lord Commander of the Imperium. It has been touched by the Emperor's own psychic might, and it is warped, or wrapped that is, in freaking flames. Every time the sword is swung, the burning blade draws pyrotechnic arcs through the air, able to slice through any type of armor with ease. So if that's not OP, I don't know what is. He also has the Hand of Dominion, which is a more advanced version of the mighty power gauntlet that he wore during the heresy. It is a power fist that not only allows him to crush the life from his foes, but it also has a built-in storm bolter to rain ranged firepower. He does have an iron halo for protection. It basically just creates a force field around him. And lastly, his armor is now called the Armor of Fate. It was crafted by the armorers of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and its inner workings are enchanted and enhanced with life-sustaining technologies. This glorious suit is highly advanced, and it is indeed unique. It fits Gilliman perfectly, and it only will work on him. And it can protect him from some pretty crazy stuff. So there you have it, guys. That was the Wargear of Gilliman. Now this is where I will end this lore on the weapons of the Primarchs. We have now gone 1 through 13, with, you know, the 2nd and the 11th legions being unknown. So because of this, we will finish everything off in the next one. We will start with the Plague Lord Mortarion, then Magnus the Red, followed by everybody's favorite, Horus, then Lorgar, then Vulcan, Corvus Corax, and then we'll finish off with the mysterious Alpharius and Omegon. So let me know, guys, currently what is your favorite Wargear from these guys? Is it to the Ultra Smurf's Burning Blade, which technically is the Emperor's, or is it the Chain Axe's Gore Father and Gore Child of Angron? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that's all I've got, guys. I've been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Out.